Strayer University is one of the biggest for-profit colleges in the country, and they want you and your money. But are they worth your money? We're going to grade them in 4 categories today, and at the end of the video, I will share a list of 7 schools that are even better than Strayer. Strayer charges $1,525 per class, which is wild when you consider that the average cost is like $1,200. That's a 25% premium, and from all of the research that I've done, it doesn't seem like Strayer offers any sort of extra services or value or reputation to like justify such a cost. What I will say is that they do seem to offer a lot of interesting scholarships that do bring the price down. So, they actively talk about Sophia and using that to pay for some of your courses. There's a graduation fund for 25% off. Strayer can help you pay for your bachelor's degree. For every 3 classes you successfully complete, you learn one on us tuition free that you can redeem as you near the end of your degree program. There's a $5K bachelor's transfer credit scholarship. An alumni masters, they got some masters, civic and community alliance scholarship, a couple of different options here. So if you play your cards right, you might actually spend only $1,143 per course at Strayer, or maybe even cheaper if you qualify for some other scholarships. But that's a lot of rigmarole to go through to just get a reasonable price. Even still, I'm going to give them the average grade for cost, and that is a C. Unfortunately, Strayer University only lets you transfer in about 2/3 of a degree, and college hackers like us, people who want to use alternative third-party credit to graduate quickly and inexpensively, would much rather see a school accept up to 3/4 of a degree, which is pretty standard for online colleges. The 2/3 limit at Strayer means that you're going to be able to transfer in fewer classes from other sources, and thus have to take more classes at Strayer, thus take longer and spend more money. On the other hand, Strayer does weirdly actively promote third-party college credit. And the reason this is wild is that third-party college credit actually takes about 1/10 of the time to earn and 1/10 of the cost. And Strayer actually promotes some of these types of alternative third-party credit like CLEP, DSST, Sophia, and Straighterline. In fact, the company that owns Strayer actually also owns Sophia Learning. You could potentially earn like 1/4 to 1/2 of a Strayer degree in just a few months with Sophia. If you don't know what Sophia is, I'll put a link in the description where you can learn more about it. One of the negatives though at Strayer is that they don't seem to accept study.com, which makes sense because it's a natural competitor to Sophia, but it also means that it's going to be harder to earn upper level credits in your degree. So for all of those many reasons, Strayer is going to get a B for transfer friendliness. Strayer's variety of degrees is mediocre, but they offer most of the degrees that students are looking for. They offer 6 degrees, some of these with specializations like business or health services administration or information technology, and most of these correlate to growing fields. For degree flexibility, they're average. And what I mean by flexibility is how customizable the degree is, how many spots there are in the degree plan where you get to choose which course fits where. The more flexible, the more you can transfer in third-party or transfer credits from another school. Typically, the more flexible, the faster you'll graduate. At Strayer, I'm seeing some degrees with half a year's worth of flexibility or some with a full year's worth of flexibility. Honestly, the business degree aligns with Sophia pretty well. You could finish that degree pretty quickly, but the IT, criminal justice, healthcare services administration degrees, you're not going to be so lucky. And that's because Strayer doesn't have that overt partnership with study.com, which is where you would get a lot of upper level advanced major area courses in those subjects. Overall, Strayer gets a C for degree choice. They have some good degrees to choose from, though not a lot of them, and their degrees are only averagely flexible. And now for the juicy stuff. It's time to talk about whether students actually like Strayer University. And the first thing to know about them is that they are a for-profit, which generally means low graduation rates and higher costs. We've already seen higher costs that can be mitigated. What about the graduation rate? It's hard to get a solid number because they have so many different locations, but let's just say that they get somewhere around 17% of their students graduating. That is not super cool. The average online college graduation rate is somewhere in the 50s, so being in the teens is pretty catastrophic. And if you look at the Better Business Bureau, you'll also see that they're rated as a D, which when I look up whether I should be giving money to somebody on the internet and I'm trying to find them on the Better Business Bureau, if they have a D, I don't usually go and then give them that money. Oh wait, since I wrote the script, it's actually been updated. It is now an F. And with that for-profit status, it means that their reputation is going to be lower than other schools, like a state school or a private nonprofit. for some reason, here in the United States, most nonprofits seem to care about money more than about actually educating their students, and you can see that in their statistics. Also, according to my research, Strayer has been the target of some lawsuits and some government regulations regarding, shady business practices for online colleges, though, thankfully for them, a lot of it seems to have either been inconclusive or not that serious. So that's actually really nice to hear. I checked 4 different review sites to see what students were rating them, and they were getting on average a 3.3 out of 5, which is not great for online schools. Things that students were complaining about. They didn't like the bad financial aid department. They felt like the professors were kind of so-so, maybe didn't get back to them, didn't give useful information. Uneducated classmates was an interesting one to read about, because isn't the point of school to go to get educated? But I think that maybe like if you're in a group project with somebody who seems like they shouldn't even be in this class, that can be really frustrating and feel like people are just being passed along. Poor customer service from advisors and academic supporters. And this I actually hear a lot about a lot of online schools, academic advisors getting switched out frequently, so you never really get to know the person who's supposed to be helping you. And that can be really frustrating for people. Predatory financing options, people mention. And then this that I thought was really smart. This one person said, it is what you make it. If you put in the work, even at Strayer, you can still get something out of it. If you don't put in the work and you're not actually caring about learning, you're probably not going to get very much out of it at all. So for all of this, I'm going to give them a D for student experience. If we were judging just for-profits, I'd probably say a mid-range B. But when we're comparing this to a lot of the other online schools out there that are actually really solid, I think this deserves a D. Overall, you can find better transfer policies, you can find better prices, you can find better degree options and flexibility, and you can definitely find a better student experience. So Strayer, I think, very much deserves the 2.0 GPA that they receive. Though I will say I was pleasantly surprised at the lack of any kind of really serious controversy. That's actually kind of an A+ move for an online for-profit. Even still, I think that there are better online colleges out there for you, and you can find 7 of them right here that I personally recommend. I think they're solid and amazing, and you can graduate from all of them in under a year easily, and easily under $15,000. Some of them much, much less than that. I hope that you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching, and happy hacking.